Hi, my name is Wendy, and I'm here to share some stories with you. The first story that I'm going to share is called Joseph Had a Little Overcoat by Taback, and I think it's the perfect story to tell because it tells us that even if we don't have something or we're not somewhere, we always have something. We always have a story, and now is the best time to tell people that are near you stories. Share stories from the past. Share news stories. So enjoy. Sit right back and listen in style to a story. Hope it makes you smile. Once upon a time, there was a man and his name was Joseph. And Joseph lived on a farm and he worked very, very hard. He worked day and he worked night and he always wore the same overcoat. Joseph's overcoat became old and worn. So what did he do? He made it into a jacket. Joseph had a jacket. He wore it during the day. He wore it during the night. He wore it when he went into town. Joseph's jacket got old and worn, so he made it into a vest. Joseph had a vest. He wore it during the day. He wore it during the night. He wore it when he went to his sister's wedding in a faraway place. It got old and worn. What did he do? He made it into a scarf. Joseph had a scarf. He wore it during the day. He wore it during the night. It got old and worn. He wore it during those very cold winter storms. What did he do? He made it into a necktie. Joseph had a necktie. He wore it during the day. He wore it at night. He wore it when he went to a very special celebration for his cousin in a faraway city. It was a most spectacular necktie. It got old and worn. What did he do? He made it into a handkerchief. Joseph had a handkerchief. He used it during the day. He used it during the night. He used it when he had a very bad cold. It got old and worn. So he scrubs it down with some soap and some water. He dried it. It was very clean. And what did he do? He made it into a button. Joseph had a little button. A tiny little button, and he lost it. He looked up, he looked down, he looked left, he looked right. He couldn't find his button. Now Joseph had nothing. Then he remembered, I do have something. I have a story. I could share the story of my overcoat with everyone. So it always goes to show you could have something from nothing. And all of you have stories from your past, new stories that you're making, stories that you could imagine. Please have fun sharing them. The end.